Good morning, world. Hey, this is Dave. I just have to share this about something that's taking place right now. And I have actually done this in other videos as well. But breaking news, this is by Brenda Lee Reels, Mormons and Biblical Discussion Group. And she said that the new LDS history essay asking members to not teach or theorize about the Book of Mormon geography. And it's confirmed in black and white now by the LDS Church. It's not teaching the truth regarding geography of where the events and peoples described in the Book of Mormon actually occurred. So it has been an increasing divisive subject, she says. Mesoamerica versus Heartland, and not a single prophet is willing to take on the subject up with God. You think, and she says, that, something of this importance, you have a prophet of God, that he would go to God or Jesus, and Jesus would come out and divulge the location of where the Book of Mormon lands are located. You would think, you really would. He's a prophet. He supposedly has almost 16 million members, and that's very debatable for many out there who even consider that amount. I obviously don't believe that many of them are active, maybe 30%. So maybe the 4 to 5 million, 6 million might be active, but there are so many who aren't these days. But he is mentioning that now we're seeing in the essays, and I've got to show it to you I'm not going to show it to you, but I'll read it because it's really important. This is the Book of Mormon geography now in the essays, and this is what it says in the very beginning. It says, overview: the church takes no position on the specific geographic location of Book of Mormon events in the ancient Americas. Church members are asked not to teach theories about Book of Mormon geography in church settings, but to focus instead on the Book of Mormon teachings and testimony of Jesus Christ and his gospel. So they talk about how the Book of Mormon is actually a history of ancient people, and the next part of the essays is this, by Anthony Ivins, a counselor in the first presidency. He says, there has never been anything yet set forth that definitely settles that question of the Book of Mormon geography. So the church says we are just waiting until we discover the truth. And then President Nelson taught, he says, interesting as these matters may be, study of the Book of Mormon is most rewarding when one focuses on its primary purpose to testify of Jesus Christ. By comparison, all other issues are incidental. So you gotta just ask, why is it incidental? Why is it not important to know the actual location of the Book of Mormon lands? I went to Israel a number of years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago with my wife. Man, you go in the Bible, you get to see where many of the cities are. You experience many of the locations where the Bible teaches. It's used many ways of a historical, literal book that really helps a lot of people to go know where those locations are. You can go and experience all these locations. And in the Book of Mormon, they go, well, these are locations, but we don't want really you to know where they are. So the problem is they can't, because it's a made-up book. That's a reality. People look at it as, you can't look at it as a literal historical book, at specific locations, because what I don't get is, why haven't they found it? And with the technology that we have these days, why hasn't any of the prophets say it's exactly here and we have to believe it? I was a missionary down in the Book of Mormon lands, and I think I've said this in the past. There would be many Mormons spending millions of dollars for the past 20 years, 30, 40 years, going down to these ruins in the Book of Mormon land. And so what we get to see there, hold on for a second, I got to shut that off. What we get to see there is that there are a lot of people that before believed that these were the actual Book of Mormon lands. The LDS Church never, ever discloses it, but boy, they took a lot of money with tours. And I'm not saying it's the LDS Church that did, but there were a lot of tour groups that focus on the Book of Mormon lands. And I was there. Just another interesting, twist on this LDS faith, that you can't prove it. You can't really prove it historically, and now they're trying to really withdraw people to investigate the historicity of it, the validity of the lands. They don't want the Mormons to think that way and focus it on that way. They just want them to be connected to the Book of Mormon rather than thinking that has any historical view. Well, the question is, if you can't imagine that there is any historical view literally on it, then it sort of closes their mind, and it closes them in a way that they can't open, and they're trying to continue to close their views, which, for me, I gotta tell you, it's an issue. It's a big issue. If you can't validate something, then you're just on la la land, Mormon la la land. So open your minds. Think about this. If you're LDS, really focus on this, because I think it's important. I really do. God bless you guys. Have a good day.